up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Snapshot, we're going to be taking a very short and casual look at the Pupacyst, mainly because there's really not very much to say. Now, you can pick up the Pupacyst blueprint in the infested lab of your clan dojo, just do beware it does require Mastery Rank 7 to craft. However, if you do find yourself strangely drawn to this meaty stick of jiggling flesh, you can always pick it up in the market pre-built along with the weapon slot and catalyst for 150 plat. I suggest you don't do that though. It's really not that great. Alrighty, so we're gonna cut through all the bullshit. Straight out of the gate, when I read the description of this thing, I was like, ooh, it's gonna be really interesting. A two-pronged attack. The bone-graft cocoon at the tip of the staff rends flesh, while the viral mass living within spreads itself into the wounds of each new victim. I was like, okay, so it must have like some spores effect or some sort of like slash proc, because we're talking about rending flesh. And I looked at it and I was like, it's impact and viral. I don't know, maybe there's a rending that happens and maybe there's like a spore cloud, and you know, went through the wiki, did a whole bunch of testing, waited to see if maybe there was a patch, maybe they left something out. They were doing a lot, you know, and if I'm gonna be really honest with you, this is pretty much it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats real quick. We have an attack speed of 0.833, which is a little bit slow. Its critical chance is meh at 13%, and its critical multiplier is 1.5 times, so clearly that's not really where you want to focus your build. But it does have a status chance of 27%, and its base damage, which is the most interesting part about this weapon, is impact and viral. Now, impact, you know, it's great against shields, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's fantastic. And then viral graded halving health, so maybe you can take on like the fleshy corpus troops with this, and that would be okay. But beyond that, not much else. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this thing actually performs, and then we'll have a little bit more of a chat about it. So again, like I was saying earlier, I went ahead and, you know, tested this out, and then I was like, there's got to be something missing, because look at the slime attack. Look at all the little gases. I was like, ooh, so maybe it spread like some sort of gas onto the enemies or something. And then, you know, I was looking at it and I was like smacking this guy, and watch when he gets up. Let's see. Oh no, maybe he doesn't have it there. Hold on. I was like, maybe there's something with the kind of like slam attack. Maybe there's something like that, and absolutely nothing. I tried this on multiple enemies. I was like, ooh, look, his face is all smoky for a second. Maybe that means something. No, it's not. It means nothing. It means absolutely, it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. It's the range on its attack really isn't all that great. It doesn't even have like an extended range on it, because I was thinking maybe, you know, it spreads via like its range or something. But as you can see here, 6 meters, 4 meters, 3 meters, like 2 meters. So it's about like 2.5 meters. 2.5, so it's not even a really great range or anything about this thing. The coolest thing about it is maybe just the way that it looks. And unfortunately, I believe it staves. Yeah, this is a stave, right? Before everybody starts yelling at me, because I know that this specific weapon type has kind of like boring combos. Twirling Spire is okay, but really it's a pole arm. It's a pole arm. It's not a stave, okay? But as you can see, even like Twirling Spire is just okay, and I find Twirling Spire to be a little bit slow, so I don't really love it. We'll try it out again in a second, but as you can see, my build is basically just a status build. We've got Prime Fury, Prime Pressure Point, we've got Condition Overload to take advantage of that, and then I tried to stack on as many other elements as possible, just to to be able to kind of like pump up that damage from Condition Overload, because legitimately that's kind of all it's got. So as you can see, we are running Blast and Corrosive on this, so I'm thinking Corrosive to strip the armor, and then of course Viral to half the health, you know, kind of like a 1-2 punch, something very similarly to what I did with the Hema. But I usually don't go ahead and use Blast, because I'm not really interested in Blast very much. But when you do all 4 and you do Drifting Contact, that's the only way you hit the 100% status mark. Otherwise you go down to 91.8, which isn't really bad, but because of the fact that this weapon doesn't have much else going for it. I'm not super duper excited, but let's go ahead and try it out with Shimmering Blight and see if it feels any different. But again, the slam attacks don't do anything except for leave a cool like thing. Like, man, that could have been like a spores move or something, right? And as you can see right here, it feels extremely slow with this. So I kind of prefer Shimmering Blight just a little bit better. Let's see if I can find like another combo that might feel a little bit nicer. Nope, this just feels worse. It just feels worse. So as you can see, yeah, it's not all that great. Let me go ahead and pull out multiple Billies just so that you can see it in action. I'm gonna put Shimmering Blight back on. Oh my god, I could not speak at all during this video. Now the one thing that I kind of want to point out is, you know, not every weapon has to be the best weapon in game. In fact, I find that, you know, sometimes it takes a bad weapon to remind us how lucky we are when it comes to the good ones, right? And I'm thinking that's the case with this one. It's not a great weapon, but, you know, it's a weapon. It's mastery rank, you know, 7. So, I mean, it's not necessarily all that high. We don't need to, like, you know, be too grateful for it. But as you can see right here, it's really... Okay, let's do a little ground slam. We're spreading spores. No, we're not. We're doing absolutely nothing. So that's kind of like really all I have to say about this weapon. It's not great. It's an interesting look. I will give it that much. Look at the little danglies that are coming out of it. It looks like one of like the maggots. It looks like the maggots has mated with the stick. It's like, you know, they made a stick baby, and that's pretty much all I got from it. You know what's really kind of sad though? I think that the staff would look really, really dope without all of the infested bits on it. I was like, this staff looks really, really good. It has an awesome model, and it's kind of sad that they didn't do more with it to make something unique and different. Kind of like, because I mean, it looks like they're doing a lot with ground slams lately, especially with the paracesis, with that cool knockup. Maybe it could have been like gas, which like stunned enemies and blinded them or something along the lines, or made it so that when, you know, you do a charge attack with it, that it'll like, I don't know, maybe just have like a explosion of like blinding spores, something along those lines, or like a viral gas cloud, something like that. But unfortunately, this is what we ended up with, and this is what it is. The only thing that I will put out there into the universe is, who knows? Melee 3.0 is something that they're working on. We might see, as we've seen with the other weapons, you know, with the primaries and secondaries so far, that they've done some big changes with those weapons, and hopefully the Pupacyst gets a little bit of love that way, because we've seen some really amazing infested weapons. I mean, if you guys don't realize, you know, straight out of the gate, one of the old classic weapons that we had was the infested dual ichor, and those were absolutely nuts. The Mire had built-in toxin damage. We didn't even realize that. Well, we did realize that, but you know, that was like the first foray into it. Then of course we had things like the Legion, which is nuts, and of course would probably be the thing that you actually use instead of this. The Haruto. So part of me is kind of like bummed that I'm like, oh, this could have been so cool, but instead it was a bit of a flop. Cost assist was sexy too, so, you know, not everybody is gonna be the best of the bunch, so, you know, maybe it was doing charity for everybody else and making everybody else feel better. Regardless, let me know if maybe you found something that, you know, every one of us have missed so far when it comes to the Pupacyst. Is it as boring as I think it is? Maybe, probably. Toss that in the comments below. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really feel bad that I couldn't be of more, you know, couldn't give you more information, but there was really nothing else to give you. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!